Hi, everyone. I'm hoping that you can all hear me today. My name is Paige Molt, and I am an account manager on the Wealthsimple for Advisors team. So I first off want to thank you all for joining me today. We've hosted several webinars this year about new updates to your advisor dashboard, but today we'd like to share with you exciting changes that are coming to your clients' dashboards. These changes that we go through today will be live for your clients on Tuesday, August 27th, so this coming Tuesday. We will be hosting a Q&A period at the end of the webinar, so feel free to type any questions as they come up into the questions section of the GoToWebinar panel, and we'll address them at the end. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen here. Perfect. Everyone should now be seeing my main screen. That's great. With these changes that we're introducing, we've revamped and redesigned the client's profile to help clients understand their investing journey by giving them the most important information on their dashboard and helping them focus on the long term. With this, we've put more emphasis on what clients can control, deposits and withdrawals, and less emphasis on things that can't be controlled, performance. So now that we're logged into a client's profile to see what you and your clients will see once these changes are launched on August 27th, first I'm going to go to a pop-up that they'll all see explaining that their dashboard has changed. Just going to navigate over here. This is the pop-up that your clients will see on August 27th, letting them know that there is a change to their dashboard. Once they've agreed to go to their dashboard, they'll see that the dashboard now shows a snapshot of the whole portfolio and how it's changed over time. So we're moving away from the current graph that only goes up and to the right that clients currently see on their profiles. So you'll still see the portfolio values and earnings surfaced here. But now, instead of showing portfolio performance in a percentage format, we show the lifetime of the portfolio using a graph and the overall earnings using a dollar figure. On the right-hand side here, you'll also see that you can adjust the time frame at the portfolio level using this drop-down. Perfect. So you can adjust it to the last 6 months, the last 3 months, the last month, the last year, whichever you want to look at. Let's go back to all time. The other thing you might be wondering right now is where your advisor card is that includes your personal details. So your email address, your name, your phone number. Not to worry, the advisor card will be on clients' profiles for the launch on Tuesday. It's just not on this profile currently. Let's scroll down on the client's profile here. First, what you'll see is the Deposits Insights section. So this lets clients know how their deposit and withdrawal behavior is impacting their portfolio. By simply clicking Learn More, clients will see a quick breakdown of their activity by month. Clients can also click on each month on the left-hand side here to view details on their deposit withdrawal activity for that particular month per account. So if I was to click on May here, on the right-hand side, you'll see the group RSP contribution. There was also some withdrawals from a vacation account that took place. And you can also flip through the various months here to look at the activities. The respective accounts on the client's profiles are still stacked, as you can see by scrolling down, so similar to the view before. And this includes account level balance, earnings, and performance. So we heard everyone's feedback that the client level percentage return that we were previously reporting was not very valuable or helpful. So what we've done is we've moved performance reporting to be only at the account level. We also have enhanced our performance reporting to be at an annualized level. So we are now really comparing apples to apples when looking at performance across accounts. So the annualized performance figures I'm referring to are the ones that my mouse is hovering over, the 6.6, the 7.6, and so on. Now let's click on an account. At the account level, you'll see that we've made some changes. We've changed how clients see their history and the projection of their future. They'll see more context about what's impacted their portfolio in the past and a range of potential future outcomes. Plus, as mentioned, we've moved returns to the account level to show performance in the context of risk levels and goals. You'll see that there. So once the actual account is selected, the client lands on this plan toggle here. This shows the projection of their future based on a range of possible outcomes. If you hover over the question mark here, you'll see how these outcomes are determined. These outcomes can be a useful tool for advisors to bring color to their conversations with clients and help clients visualize that range of outcomes. In the old view, we didn't illustrate a range of outcomes at all. We kept it simple and said, here is the most likely value for the future worth of your portfolio down to an exact dollar figure. This is the graph that we all know and love that only goes up and to the right. Of course, this graph isn't a literal projection based on life's events that happen with a client, but what we've done now is we've made it clear with that potential range of outcomes. Again, these outcomes are based on an analysis of the past and are determined based on the client's risk level and how markets tend to perform. The client that we're looking at here is in an accumulation phase of their life. I'm going to move over to an account that shows decumulation. If I pull up that screenshot there, this account shows decumulation. So specifically, a client will see a decumulation graph if they have auto withdrawals set up, or if it's an account with a withdrawal requirement, such as a RIF account. For example, you see the range of outcomes here. They're directed towards the bottom right as the client is drawing on their funds for retirement. I'm going to go ahead and flip back to the portfolio that we were on previously. Under the plan section, as before, you can hover over the graph to see expected outcomes at a certain time period. You'll also see on the right-hand side these three boxes: deposit insights, the TFSA contribution tracker, and the portfolio breakdown. By selecting Learn More under Deposit Insights, this shows you the deposit and withdrawal activity at the individual account level. If you click on the TFSA tracker, this shows if the client has this set up or if they want to set it up or make any adjustments to it. Under the portfolio section, you'll be able to see here the portfolio or mandate that that account is assigned to. For example, this account is in a Wealthsimple passive growth portfolio. If your client is in a sub-advised portfolio, this will also be noted here. You can then view the current holdings by selecting View Holdings down here. The holdings are broken out based on asset class, and what we include here is the allocation percentage, market value, fee, and performance. We've also heard your feedback, and you'll now notice that we've included the number of shares per holding. This information was previously only included on the monthly statements, but we've now brought it forward to the client dashboard. Perfect. Heading back to the account that we were on, let's move from the plan toggle that we landed on to this history toggle at the top. Our goal here is to show the effect of the two ways that a client's portfolio can be most powerfully impacted: by market performance and by how much a client deposits or withdraws. By navigating your mouse onto the graph here, you'll see a dark gray line appears. The dark gray line reflects the client's net deposits, and the yellow line shows the portfolio value at a given time. This can be hovered over as well. You'll see that this allows a client to see their deposits and withdrawals and how market performance has impacted their account. Clients can also select the time frame from here, similar to how they can at the portfolio level, by navigating up to the top. Perfect. And selecting that specified time frame. Under earnings, you can also view time-weighted, money-weighted, and simple returns by selecting earnings at the top. Change return type allows you to see the return types offered. Again, these are the annualized earnings numbers. We also now show a snapshot on the right of any recent activity related to that account. So if funds have been invested, if the client has received recent dividends, or if a fee has been paid recently. This will all be posted here. There's also more to come. We'll be introducing milestones or goals that clients and advisors can set to allow clients to keep track of how close they are to their goals and to easily see all the steps along the way. We're also going to be introducing badges on clients' dashboards to highlight certain events, such as a market downturn or large withdrawal, to include details on the reason for the large movement in the graph. As mentioned before, I'd like to open up the floor to any questions. So if you have any questions, please submit them in the questions box in the GoToWebinar panel, and I will be able to address them. Perfect. The first question coming in, will this be available on the mobile app on Tuesday, August 27th? So the answer is not on the mobile app yet. That will be launched in the coming weeks afterwards. So August 27th is the web-only launch, and then in the coming weeks, we will be launching it on the mobile app. Another question here, how frequently do earnings and returns update? So these figures will both be updated approximately every 15 minutes throughout the day. So both the earnings and percentage returns. So you will see these figures fluctuate throughout the day. Another question here, if I have a white labeled advisor portal, will that still be applied on this new release? The answer is yes, white labeled portals are not going away and they will be applied on this new release. One other question is, can you clarify how performance is going to be calculated now? So as mentioned, we've begun reporting performance in an annualized way. Up until now, performance numbers have been cumulative, meaning they reflect the account's performance since the client began investing with us. And now clients will see the annualized rate of return for each account. So again, that apples to apples comparison. Another question here, any plans for a year-to-date performance number? The year-to-date performance number is not available on the client dashboard, but it is available in the monthly statements. So you can find that number there. Another question that came in is, if a client has a Wealthsimple trade account, will this ever be included under their investment accounts? The short answer to that is no. They are completely separate platforms, so we don't yet have plans to bring them together. But if things do change, we'll definitely keep everyone posted. Another question here is, how is the range of possible outcomes determined? So that tooltip that allowed you to see that little paragraph snippet provided some information, but essentially the range of possible outcomes is based on any auto deposits or withdrawals that the client has set up. So we do not take into account one-time deposits or withdrawals. And then it, of course, takes into account the client's risk level and how markets tend to perform based on that risk level. So if I were to go back to that tooltip, you'll see based on the growth portfolio I have here, it's giving me a projection and assuming a return of just over 5%. So that will vary based on the portfolio that the client is in. Another question here is, are there changes to the funding, activity, or withdrawal screens? The answer is no. With this release, those will remain the same. Through the deposit insights, you can navigate to the deposits page, the funding page, but no changes will be made there with this release. Another question here is, does the advisor have the option to add the badges or milestones when those are released? In the initial launch, that will not be available, but hopefully over the course of time, we allow the ability for advisors to provide their own commentary and their own information on client dashboards. Perfect. So thank you everyone for providing questions there. Since we didn't have time to get to all of them today, we will be responding via email to some of them. The other exciting thing I'd like to mention is, as you know, one of our principles is that we are always in beta and looking for ways to improve our products and the overall experience. So what we will be doing this afternoon is sending out a webinar recording link to this webinar, as well as a feedback survey. So in that feedback survey, please complete it and provide any comments or questions that you may have, or feel free to share any feedback or questions at advisors@wealthsimple.com. That's ADVISORS at wealthsimple.com. So thanks everyone for tuning in today and looking forward to hearing the feedback. Take care. Bye now.